Hello, everyone. I must welcome you all to our webinar series, Future You, Set Your Career Compass Right with Experts Insights. So today our topic is Think Like a Digital Marketer. And on this session, you will find out about how to keep yourself updated in the evolving field of digital marketing, where to begin a career in digital marketing, agency or corporate, where can you learn maximum as a digital marketer, especially in your initial stages of your career. So let's welcome our speaker, Akashdeep Saxena. He's a digital marketing strategist at Google UK. He's an alumnus of mica Ahmedabad. Akashdeep has been with Google for 7 years, and prior to that, he has worked as an account manager in digital media planning with the leading media company Group M. Thank you, Akashdeep Saxena, for joining this session. Welcome.
Thanks, Kalyan, for the lovely introduction.
So we will start from your career trajectory very briefly about the first part of your career, as in mica to Google India. But I want to know now more about from Google India to Google UK and how exactly that transition has been. So yeah.
Sure. All right. So I'll rewind a bit so that sets up a little bit of context. So we did talk about this in the previous video, but I'll still, for the benefit of new attendees, I'll just repeat that. So yeah, so like Kalyani introduced, my name is Akashdeep, and currently I'm working with Google in London in UK. I moved recently, just 5 months back, and right now I'm working in the marketing operations team, and that's where I've been for the last few years. And before that, like Annie mentioned, I was working as an account manager for one of the agencies called Group M. And I started as a practitioner, mainly like doing the heavy duty digital marketing work, but with years passing by, I expanded in marketing operations, which became more of my core. And we'll talk a little bit more about how. So I think I'll take it one step behind that as well, because a lot of people relate to that. So I have also completed my engineering. So I'm also a BTech. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of you in this group are engineers in some form, whether you like it or not. So I didn't like it much, and then I wanted to transition by not going into a classic IT job or an engineering job, and I was not probably I felt I was not really cut out to do core engineering, which was my branch, electrical and electronics. I have sympathy for those who have taken core branches. But yeah, then I chose to join IMS back in 2009, and then I prepared for my first CAT in 2010, and then the second one in 11. Those are the only two CATs I've given, and CAT was very different at that time. I think the first online CAT, I think 2010 was the first online CAT, and it didn't go that great for me. But yeah, the second time went pretty well, and that's when I got a couple of calls and converted mica. And then in mica is majorly a marketing specialization college. So all of our second year specializations are in fact a branching out of marketing itself. So I was pretty much interested in marketing, and that interest grew in me while I was at in my college, and I was organizing these fests and attending multi these inter-college festivals and everything. So I used to be like part of designing, presentation, strategizing on how to organize these and get sponsorship and things like that. So I felt okay, I'm better cut out for marketing than engineering, and that's where my interest grew for joining a college which has a foothold in marketing. And I think mica definitely stood out at that time, and I think does today as well. So I chose account planning in one of the, like, out of the four specializations at that time. The other ones were brand management, marketing analytics, digital marketing. Yeah, so those were the ones. So I chose account because I wanted to work in an agency. Like I had this passion because I could highly relate to the work that Ogilvy and these agencies like who make these Zuzu ads, for example, Happy Advertising, I think at that time for Vodafone. So used to work. So I was really fascinated by that kind of work, and I wanted to make ads. Like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make ads, and that's where I chose to. I was following my passion basically at that time, and I think there's no harm in doing that. And hence I joined advertising as a specialization. And then I got placed not directly in advertising, but I got placed from campus. And campus placements in MBAs are a little bit of a hit or a miss. So you can't really control the entire landscape there or the factors that are involved in getting you placed in any such company.
Right.
So I ended up with GroupM, which is a fairly reputed name. It's the largest media company in the world. So when we say media and not advertise, the difference is that GroupM doesn't create ads, but they run ads. So they are like the liaison between the places where you see the ads, whether in a newspaper or a digital website or an app or everywhere. So GroupM is the intermediate agency which provides those slots to an advertiser. So I was now part of the selling, buying side of media, but not really creating. But I was not like really worried because that was also giving me a perspective of where the money comes in and money goes out in the media industry, right? A little bit further away from the creative side of it, but yeah, it was still exciting enough to be in the thick of talking about who could be the next brand ambassador or what could be the next creative idea. And I worked with some great clients in my 1 year stint at GroupM. I worked with Honda Cars, Magic Bricks. There used to be some upcoming companies at that time. Lime Road, I remember, was one of the e-commerce companies and so on. But yeah, luckily I got a call from Google back in 2015. Appeared for 6 interviews at that time. It's not as many now, but yeah, I interviewed I think 6 times across 4 months. It's for a pretty long process. But yeah, luckily got the job of a digital marketing strategist. It was called something else at that time. But yeah, right now if you look up on the careers page or even on LinkedIn, you might see this very commonly open role in Hyderabad, most likely, called the digital marketing strategist. So that's probably the entry level role for MBAs and people with, let's say, no MBA, but like 3 to 4 years of experience in the industry who've started off themselves like after their BBA, BCA, BCom, or what's BJMC, right? So sort of that. So those kind of courses. So I was in that role, and I started working for the America market based in Hyderabad. So I was supporting some of the top clients which used to spend with Google as an advertiser. So Walmart, Target, Best Buy. So these were the like biggest retailers of US, Canada, and America. I was working for those. I was helping them, get better value of their the spend that they were making on Google. So that's where I started learning how the the nitty gritties behind a digital marketing campaign. How are the decisions made? So that's where I grew interested in the same. But I wanted to move towards the scale of the same. So I started working with the team which would help these large clients, handle not one or two, but hundreds of campaigns at the same time. So I started getting into that sphere. And that's where my current role actually started shaping out. So currently I moved to UK and then joined more of marketing support, marketing operations role, where I'm not personally a digital marketing strategist. I do understand what goes behind the plan, of course. That's what it takes to be able to help our clients become more successful. But that's where I am, and hence my current role is called, if you look on LinkedIn, it's called customer success lead. So my job is to ensure the success of most of the customers that I manage, and that is through Google advertising.
Okay.
So
okay.
that's the short of it.
So now from Google India to Google UK, so your profile kind of changed, doesn't it? But
yes,
is it still largely something you do with your digital marketing background, and also how exactly your typical day at Google UK is? And you can also talk a little bit about how your days were as a digital marketing strategist in Google India.
So as a digital marketing specialist or strategist back in India, what the way we used to work is we had this set of clients where we were responsible for working with the sales team, the Google ad sales team, which might be sitting out of the location where the client is located. For example, Walmart have their headquarters in the US. They have two headquarters, one in the East Coast, one is the West Coast. And Walmart has two models, like any other company right now, most other companies right now, which were old school, used to have these two models of store selling, and then they wanted to become an e-commerce, like they wanted to sell online as well. We can think of any example like uh, Pantaloons, Shoppers Stop, Tata New, like their consolidated app that they have, Tata New, where they will bring Chroma or any such Tata Click online. So most companies are going through this churn of taking their store business as much possible as online because stores were declining at that time.
Correct.
Our job was to create, plans for both. Like our job is not to just reduce store visits. Those stores were being shut down. New stores were not being opened in 2015-16 because of this word called omni-channel. I'll just probably type it here.
Yeah.
So omni-channel means a strategy where you want business to happen on both the platforms, the e-commerce and the store.
Okay.
So online is used in two ways. First is to make people aware of your brand. Let's say you are not aware of what Walmart sells. People, of course, know that Walmart is a superstore, but let's say there's a new launch. Apple phone is being launched, and then you want people to know that Walmart next to you, the nearest one, is selling an Apple iPhone. So when you search for, let's say, Apple iPhone near me or Apple iPhone store near me, it could show you Apple stores. It could show you other company stores or Tata stores or Chroma, for example, or such chains. But let's say Walmart also wants to show that okay, we also sell Apple phones, right? So that's where they want people to come into the store, experience the phone themselves, and then maybe buy or not. Okay. A lot of times, what you will show is buy online, and then you get a certain discount. So they wanted to move people like keep the experience at the store, but at the same time keep on growing their online business as well. So that's what is called omni-channel. A lot of companies today, for example, Zara, you might have noticed that you can buy online, but you can return in store. So that's also a strategy that you can. There's also this thing called buy online, pick up in store model, which some companies are using, where you can buy online and then you visit the store and then you get the experience of asking the questions about whether this device how it works. So that's what we were helping Walmart at that time. So that's what my day looked like. So to be able to create strategies around this and help the account sales team and convincing the client on continuing to spend, and not just on spending, but it should bring value for the client. For example, if a client is ready to spend $100 with Google, so they are looking to earn 200, 400, $500. So this is called ROI. So ROI is ROI or ROAS, which is return on ad spend. Okay. So every dollar that you spend, there's a ratio which you want back. So every $1 that you spend on Google Ads, let's say, you would want to earn $5. And how is that possible? The possibility is that for every $1 of margin that you make on a shoe, okay, I mean, okay, for every $1 that you spend on Google Ads, there should be at least $5 of margin on the shoe that you're selling, right?
Okay.
And that after every other cost that you have. So that's where your return on an ad spend comes in. So our job is to maximize number of people being able to buy through Google's help from Walmart stores or Walmart online, and that margin, that $5 could be $6 if we do it better, because if it takes $1 to get $5 of profit, and if you're able to, let's say, reduce the cost of that $1 per purchase, that comes up, let's say 5.5, half a dollar, then you are doubling your return on ad spend or ROI.
Okay. So tell me how exactly you have had 7 years of experience in digital marketing. So how have you been upskilling yourself or updating yourself? Because even by tomorrow, even by next month, I think, and by the time our audience gets into the job and in the job market, digital marketing will again change. So how do you keep yourself updated? Is there anything like a step 1, step 2 to keep doing so that you're always
definitely
up?
So let's take a step back and understand the digital marketing landscape, like the digital marketing industry landscape a little bit. So before Geo launched, I think in 2016, all of us can think how many of our parents were as active on Facebook or WhatsApp. Probably none. So they picked up only after Geo came into our lives, and then it made 4G pretty affordable. So when Geo came into our lives, that's where our parents and then everybody who was not that much used to digital marketing, or it's not digital marketing, but digital exposure also became exposed. That's where the inflection point of companies realizing the potential of spending not just on television or not just on print ads. There used to be 10 years back when, I'm not sure any of you remember, but when Kaun Banega Crorepati launched in India, back in 2001, I think. They had a front page ad, like, and this was the first full page ad that anybody had seen in India. Like they had published it on all possible newspapers, Times of India, Hindustan Times, HT, everything. They had a front page ad in 2001, and this used to be a huge thing because they wanted to make a big deal out of it. What happens today when a company like Cred wants to take over your mind, your screens, your space of thinking? They will bombard you with ads, not just on television while IPL is going on. They will bombard you with ads on YouTube as well, right? They will bombard you with ads on Instagram as well. So when you are scrolling, there's so many kinds of advertising or marketing which is going on apart from the traditional TV or print or outdoor marketing anymore, right? There's a lot of influencer marketing. There's a lot of these um, referral style marketing where a YouTube influencer will give you a code which you can use to do XYZ, right? There will be a lot of course, YouTube. I've already mentioned app marketing for Zomato and Uber, where they will use these, creative strategies to grab your attention, not just on the traditional mediums. So this happened in the last 5-7 years. So that's why the digital marketing landscape, which did not exist, probably a company would spend 10% of the total marketing revenue digitally, have moved to more than 50%. Most companies cannot do without ensuring that when somebody searches for their company, their ad or their search result does not show up on the top. So if you think of any company which is big enough and you were searching for a OnePlus phone or a Xiaomi phone or an Apple phone, and they do not show up in the first page of Google search, they're not going to be successful as a company. That's really important. And that I'm only talking about search right now, but that also holds accountable for what their reputation is on Twitter, what their reputation is on Instagram, what are the hashtags that they're attached to, what are the trends, what are the celebrities, who's advertising for them, who's giving a review. So all of this got created in the last 6 years, and it is an ever evolving landscape, like ever evolving space. So of course there's no turning back from how quickly and how integrated digital marketing has become in our lives. So it's really important to think like a practitioner. Like if you're attending this session, I would highly recommend that in the background, take an example of any brand that you think has done a great job at digital marketing, and that could be Uber, Zomato, Cred, I think is my new classic example. You could think of any company which is actually traditional in nature, but has done a great job of maintaining their reputation online. Okay. And in that sense, probably Indigo is one of the examples which will come to me. Though, of course, airlines do not always have a steady sale, but I think Indigo in the last 7-8 years has built a great, cool brand, which is slightly better. Vistara is doing a fantastic job in that space as well. And there's going to be this new airline called Akasha Air by Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. So these are the companies which will define traditional products or traditional businesses like airlines. How will they become digitally relevant? Hence, there is a lot of landscape. There's a lot of runway remaining in digital marketing, and how to upskill yourself. I'll take a step back and tell that first of all, before, and this is again my personal opinion, this is not a professional opinion, that before you get into paying for any courses, there are a lot of free available courses from Facebook and Google. You just have to look up Google search, Google Ads certification, and you'll see multiple free links
I think
which
you
are
spoke
hosted by these
about
companies.
spoke about skill shops and all that last time
Yes.
as well. Yeah. So
So I
yeah.
highly recommend everybody to go through both Facebook and Google free courses which are available. And you might have seen that option on Instagram as well, where you can convert your own page into an influencer or a business.
Right.
So once you do that, everybody should maybe try that and come back to the normal page. But I've done that. So what it will do is it will start showing you stats and trends of how many people have seen your Instagram post. How can you boost that post, like pay and get more viewers. So that's how a marketer is thinking. So when Cred posts an ad about Ravi Shastri recently, where they have spent 1 crore rupees on making that ad, they want 10 crore people to see that ad.
Right.
Out of that, let's say 1 crore people to install the app, right? And use and get used to using Cred. In fact, for example, Cred does not even clarify what their business model is. Right now, they're only focusing on download Cred, download Cred, download Cred,
Correct.
or just use Cred points and everything. So honestly, a lot of people don't even know what to do with these Cred points or what is Cred. So they're making this, exclusive thing about downloading Cred and being part of this Cred club. All right. but that's where they are doing their branding better. They're getting into the branding phase. For example, Zomato and Swiggy and Uber are past their branding phase. Ola, Zomato, Swiggy, Uber, everybody has these on their phone. So they do not have to tell you about installing the app anymore. Right now, they're talking about the next step, the return on ad spend.
Tell me something, even then, if you have to keep upskilling yourself, what do you do to upskill yourself? As in, just to keep yourself informed about what all is happening out there, and certifications alongside, and does it even work for anybody who has been in that particular field for 4 to 5 years? Even for you as well, does that stand even for you?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So you have to keep doing that. Okay.
Yes. So anybody who's starting, make use of all the free resources that Facebook and Google offer. But somebody who's been a practitioner like me, we have to go one step deeper, and not just understand what is Google Ads or what is competition doing. We need to go one step further and try to optimize the return on ad spend that we were talking about. So I don't have to just convince the client on getting on to Google Ads.
Right. Okay.
We have to go one step further and ensure that the client gets more and more value by using or unlocking a new feature in Google Ads.
Okay.
So let's say we take an example of Apple, and Apple is launching iPhone SE in India, okay, which is a cheaper version of the iPhone. Like it's more of a budget phone, like 40,000 rupees or something. But for that, their audience is different than iPhone would be targeting for iPhone 13 and 13 Pro, 13 Pro Max, which is 1,20,000 rupees, right? So the audience is absolutely different. How does Apple ensure that they are not targeting the same person? They're not spending their money on the wrong person, because somebody who can afford a phone of 40,000 rupees was looking at it OnePlus, but we are not trying to convince them to buy an iPhone.
Right.
iPhone SE, right? How does Google or an advertising company as a publisher consult the client to ensure that they are going deeper and filtering out their audience to ensure that the return on ad spend gets optimized? So that's where, as a practitioner, our job is to go deeper and deeper and make sure that the filters that the client is using, strategies that the client is using, the placements where the ads are being seen get better and better, and the money can be preserved or optimized in a way that each and every penny spent by the client returns in as much possible revenue.
Right. Okay. There's a question about Google is an ITES company. How can an MBA with no technical background work at an IT company like Google, Meta, Amazon, or Microsoft? Like, how do they work then in an IT company like that? Does your BTech degree help you with your job at Google?
No, it does not.
No.
It hampers. It rather hampers it. Sorry.
Okay. So, but how much of technical? Okay, we'll talk about the skill sets. So let's talk about the skill sets first. What are the? Of course, soft skills. Yes, you need to have communication, writing skills. You need to be creative and all overall for digital marketing. But what about the technical skills? What are the basic technical skills that
the first technical skill that I think Kalyani, we did touch upon this as well, but I'll come back to it because this is really crucial. And I was talking about understanding data and trends. So I think number crunching. When I say number crunching, a lot of people will think about these financial numbers and so many Excel sheets and everything, which is gonna just boggle my mind. And I'm not great with quant and all. There's no hiding. There's no running away from quant. If you are doing an MBA, if you're choosing to do an MBA, you will have to go through quant. I'm sorry to say, but that's the reality. If you don't like quant, you will start liking it, or you will not be a good professional. So that's the reality. So everybody, I would highly recommend, never lose hold of numbers and finding trends in numbers or being able to populate an insight out of numbers. So that's never going to be a skill which will be out of fashion. Even as a digital marketing strategist, which might sound okay, I just need to talk to clients and convince them to spend on Google or whatever advertising. That's not the case. We need to download last 6 months, 1 year trend and show this is when Diwali comes. This is what a purchaser does. This is a trend, right? Okay, this is when Akshay Tritiya happens, gold sells more. Then Raksha Bandhan comes, Cadbury celebration ads increase. Cadbury Bandhan packages increased in sales. Okay? If you are, let's say, a competitor, you are Nestle, and you want to beat Cadbury's today on Raksha Bandhan, what do you require to do? What is the size of the market? Let's say size of the market is 10 crore rupees can be of sales happens on Raksha Bandhan. Okay. And 8 crores is being taken over by Cadbury. So Cadbury has a share of the market of 80%. How do you cannibalize, for example, like move Cadbury's a step further back? So, for example, I'll give you a very classic example of, I love this example of nobody thought that AquaGuard can be beaten in the Indian market, but Kent has taken over AquaGuard. Kent sells more water purifiers. In fact, AquaGuard is a word that is like, I was going to say Kent sells more AquaGuards. So that's the extent to it where AquaGuard was, and Kent has changed that with their marketing. So they understood the market, they understood what it will take to change that. Okay, not just the product, but the marketing, the installation of the idea in the consumer's mind and making them see Kent all over. So that's what you have to do: use data and find trends and convince the client. And of course, like for their success, not just to ensure that they're spending more with Google or Facebook or whatever company you're working for. So that's the idea. So yes, be close to data. Marketing analytics is big as much as possible. Again, there are a lot of free resources available. First, exhaust free resources for marketing analytics and digital marketing. Then, if you really feel passionate about it, go ahead, do any paid courses that you are passionate about. Do not think that, okay, this course or that course, you are passionate about it, spend money. For example, it's a lot like investing in a cell phone or investing in good clothes. If you are passionate about fashion, you first buy H&M, then you buy Zara, then you buy Tommy Hilfiger, whatever. So you enhance because you love it. You enhance your car or a bike because you love it. You modify it to become better. Same for skills. First, it's free. Go one step above. Do a course from Stanford next time, doesn't matter. But do not skip the basic levels before you go to spend 2 lakh rupees on a course. Okay.
There's a lot of questions about mica. So what roles do IT companies offer on campus placement at mica? What should your typical profile look like? And
see,
also,
if this person is converted mica, see, if this person is already converted mica, they can inbox me. If otherwise.
Okay, Advait, you can just find him on LinkedIn otherwise, and just ask him questions.
Because see, I can take mica specific questions only for people who have converted mica. Okay. Because there's no point. Because the reason why I'm saying this, first, conversions are very luck based. For MBAs, like these schools, you do not, it's not only performance based, like multiple factors which you did not even realize when you were giving your board exams at 10th class come into picture to ensure that you are converted, because you did not have, I personally had 89.8% in 10th. 89.8. And because a lot of colleges shortlist at 90%, so I was not shortlisted for many interviews, PDPI process, because I had 89.8%. So if you are in that category, do not bother much. Plus, B school placements are not a factor of what you planned for. Okay. IT companies, first, like not a lot of IT companies come to mica, but yeah, the ones who come, for example, TCS did visit when I was in mica 2014. TCS had come. So if you think of TCS, then you will think, oh, TCS again, that very boring job, desk job, cubicle job. The person who got selected in TCS used to work in Infosys, and he hated when he got placed. So he was not happy when he got placed because he came from Infosys, 3 years of experience in Infosys. He was a VIT Vellore BTech. And he got placed after 3 years of experience, mica, then TCS. But job he got was to organize inter-country coding festivals for TCS.
It was almost an event sort of a job.
He was a communications manager for that unit. So he used to like travel to Kuala Lumpur and organize a TCS event there, Philippines, Dubai. He was traveling all over the world and organizing coding events which TCS was hosting. So you would think of an IT company and you will not even realize the kind of marketing an IT company would be doing. Infosys is a title sponsor for French Open, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, so it's a big like Infosys is a major advertiser in the Europe because they have a lot of clients in the Europe and they want to grow their B2B business. Infosys does not sell chips and chocolates, so they are looking at big clients to recognize Infosys. So marketing in B2B is also huge. You will not see it because Cred has taken over our mind and Apple has taken over our mind, but B2B marketing is huge. So
tell me, how did you get a call from Google?
How did I get a call? Okay, so I did use a referral of one of my seniors who was already at Google, but things have changed now. This is when Google had 1/4 the people of that they have now. Like Google today has more than 1,50,000 people globally. At that time, there were less than 40,000 people when I joined. So Google has become 4x in the last 7 years. So the way hiring happens has changed drastically. So the time when I was given a call and I converted, that doesn't hold true anymore. So it is a fascinating story, but not relatable to people who are aspiring today. So that's why.
So where should one begin a career in digital marketing? From today's scenario.
So if you're getting into MBA, of course, you will be slightly dependent on the kind of placements you're getting. Then you might not always be able to make a choice unless you be pretty much fixed about the companies or the profiles that you will be appearing for in your B-school placement.
For example, as in what, if you're from an MBA background, you are not going to get into what? You'll be only getting corporate placement, is it? Or no agency placement? Is that what you mean by that? Or
that could be true. So
in your case, it was different. You started with Group M, but so can you tell us also that, as in, if you're obviously, our audience, they'll be taking CAT this year or next year. So obviously, they'll be sitting for my CAT as well, probably, some of them. So now the thing is, and a lot of people would be interested to get into digital marketing. So for them, as an MBA, how does it open up, and where will they get maximum exposure to all things that encompass digital marketing, so that they can like how you've had probably. So
no, surely.
Like that.
So okay, so when we talk about the digital marketing roles, there are a total of 3 places digital marketing roles can exist, 3 kind of industries. First is any brand. Think of any company which has to market their product or their service. When I was talking about Infosys, they are marketing their consulting services, or a Deloitte is marketing their consulting services, and Apple is marketing their product, which is an iPhone. Credit is marketing their app, or Zomato is doing the same.
Yeah.
So these are companies or brands which will need marketing teams within the company, or broken down marketing teams into TV marketing for IPL ads or TV ads, and then digital marketing for app ads or Google ads and Facebook ads. Okay, and then social media marketing as well within digital marketing. Second is where the ad is running, and we can call these publishers. They are called publishers. Publishers are broadly, I'm just typing publishers. Publishers are broadly anywhere you see the ad. The front page of a newspaper, the front page of Times of India, your Google feed, Google search, YouTube ads, Facebook or Instagram ads. So anywhere you see the ad is a publisher.
Okay.
So they own or they manage the inventory or the placement where the ad is being shown. So second is this. So first was the brands, the second is the publishers, and the third is the agency. So I will write first brand as well, and the third is the agency.
Okay.
The third is the agency. The difference between the marketing team in a brand and the agency is that a lot of brands do not have the detailed competency or the skill set that is required to know what is the latest and the greatest in the advertising industry. So they use help of agencies, and agencies are nothing but consultants. Okay.
Right.
Consultants and brokers. Okay, don't quote me on this, they not like it. So basically they're consultants and brokers, because basically they consult the brand or the client, Zomato, Uber, Credit, whatever, on which platform to use, which publisher to use to advertise, and then also get them the best prices. Okay. As a, because of their scale of operation, a consultant or an agency or a broker is not dealing only with Facebook. They're dealing with Facebook, Google, Meta, Amazon, everybody. So if Credit is launching a big campaign, the agency could come in and say, okay, we'll get you this bundle offer of 10 crore rupees on TV, print, radio, Spotify, Google ads, everything for 10 crore rupees. And this is how you will break it down, because your goal is this. Your goal is to ensure people install Cred more or order more from Zomato. These are the 3 places digital marketing roles can exist. Okay. So if you are looking to go into digital marketing, you could end up in marketing cell of a company. You could end up in an agency on the digital marketing side, or you could end in the publisher, which companies which own digital marketing space.
Like
okay,
Google,
Facebook, Times Internet,
okay,
which owns all of the Times ecosystem, and think of any such Spotify. Like
okay,
again, Spotify you might see of as a music company, but they also need to advertise, right? Big time, and so on. So every company has to advertise. So these are the three places where you can enter
okay,
and shift towards digital marketing. So basically every company in
okay.
that sense. But yeah, depending on where you do your MBA from, specialization you choose, you might change your bend of mind. Like if of course somebody has done operations of or finance as their specialization, I don't expect them, again, nothing stops you, but I don't expect them to choose marketing as the core placement route. So
Okay.
that's what I meant by
Okay.
making the choice when you are getting into the placement side. So yeah.
Okay. You were talking about Zomato, and you were also talking about, how now Zomato has reached another level, and wherein, everybody knows about Zomato. So it doesn't
Correct.
need to be talking about what it is all about. So now what's the next level for them? And as a digital marketer, anywhere, or for that matter, if you're a digital marketer in Zomato, or one of the clients is Zomato, how exactly a digital marketer is supposed to think now? What's the plan for Zomato in India now as a digital marketer?
Yeah, so that's what I've written in the chat box as well. So what happens is every brand or company or uh, business provider like Infosys has a marketing funnel. And what marketing funnel means is that you understand a funnel, right? Upar se it's broader,
It's
and
broader,
on the
and
bottom
then
it's really small. Okay, which
Mm.
means that more people should see your ad, but not everybody will buy your product,
Right.
right? You want to reach more people, but a lot of people will get filtered at some stage. For
Okay.
example, 1 crore people see cred ad. I was giving that example. Let's take Zomato, for example. 1 crore people will see Zomato's ad on a hoarding, on digital media, on YouTube ads, on TV while IPL is going on.
Right.
But only 10 lakh people out of 1 crore will install the ad. Out of the 10 lakh people, only 1 lakh people will place an order. Okay. Out of that 1 lakh people, maybe only 10,000 people will place an order which is worth 500 rupees. Okay. And out of those 10,000 people, only 1,000 people will place a second order.
Okay. Right.
So the funnel that I created is reaching your audience, converting your audience, ensuring a purchase, and ensuring a retention of your audience. Yeah.
Okay.
Or a customer. So you reached a prospective customer who was an audience. Then you make sure that they convert, which means either they buy or install your app, whatever your goal was. Okay. Then they make an action on your app, or like book a ride on Uber. Basically, that's the action, right? Then they do it again.
Okay.
So you have to retain that audience or your customer, right? So this is a marketing funnel. So everybody, again, when I'm talking about this session, thinking like a digital marketer, these are the kind of terms that you should Google in the background, make a note of, go and read and see videos on YouTube, which are again free, what a marketing funnel looks like. Okay. A lot of what the great thing about marketing is it's pretty flexible and pretty fluidic, that people define it in different ways. There's no fixed definition of marketing. And I was once asked in one of my interviews, what is marketing? And honestly, I was not happy, because that's not a question that an interviewer should ask you. So marketing is pretty flexible as a strategy. Marketing is pretty flexible as an ideology. So you should understand. So to me, marketing is money in and money out, and money out should be greater. What happens? The catalyst in the middle is marketing. You put money in marketing. The catalyst is marketing. The money out for a company should be greater than the money in. So marketing leads to an ROI, to a return on ad spend. That's marketing, according to me.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit with examples maybe of how in one particular company, SEM or SEO, or what's the difference, and which one should you use? From any example. Say.
All right. So the major difference about SEM and SEO is because
so for a Zomato for per se, or how do you have which one should they use? So if you can just take it as an example so that we can understand. Yeah.
All right. So first thing is that they are entirely different, and every company does both. They have to. So difference is search engine optimization is not necessarily advertising. So you don't need an advertiser to, a publisher or an agency to do SEO. SEO or optimization, when you say optimize, you're just improving, right? Optimization is improvement. So you improve using your own assets. For example, your own assets as a company could be a website. Let me check.
Yeah.
Own assets is a website. It could be your app. It could be your blog. It could be your YT channel.
Right.
Your Insta handle. Your Twitter. These are all owned. You do not have to pay a rupee to maintain these.
Okay.
You don't have to pay. Just to run a YouTube channel, you don't have to pay anything. If you start a startup today, you start selling hair bands, you start selling shoes, chappals, whatever, you don't need to spend any money. And you can make these really cool. You can have 40,000 followers, 1 million subscribers. Do you have to pay anything? No.
Okay.
The day you start advertising like a Cred or a Zomato, when people see your ad before a video is run, or when they search on Google search, okay, then SEM comes into the picture when you pay. Okay. You pay to beat the competition. Okay. To be able to be on the top of the search results. So when you start marketing, you put in money, and that's what I said in the last statement. Money in, marketing, money out is greater. So your expectation is when you pay for marketing on SEM, you get an ROI. Again, we are talking about ROS, which is putting in money and then getting an ad spend with it. For example, when you see a Nike shoe ad, you want to, if you click on it, okay, Nike has to pay some money to the company where you're seeing the ad on Instagram or Google. Okay. But if you do not purchase the ad, that has gone down the drain.
Okay. Yeah.
So not, and plus we talked about that in the marketing funnel. Not everybody will convert.
Right.
10 people who click on the ad, only one might convert. So the costing has to be such, or the margin on the product has to be such for Nike that they can't be selling it on a cutthroat basis. For 100,000 rupees shoe, they have to remain like 200 rupees of margin or 400 rupees of margin. That they will pay some money to the brand, they'll pay some money to the brand ambassador, to Google for hoarding on airport and everything, and then still they have to make money. This is what like the entire marketing landscape or the marketing strategy will comprise of.
Okay. If we are taking, from entry level to a senior level in digital marketing in a particular company, and post MBA, how do you, what's the step up? How do you step up? And also, what's exactly, where can a digital marketer reach in a company? Growth wise, I mean, like, some people like in other fields, like in product management and all, you become like this, or business analytics, you become something like that. Yeah.
So luckily,
do they become CEOs or CXOs?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
See, the future, again, I'll take the geo example. The future is digital. So for a country like India, and the number of unicorns we are seeing, and all of these unicorns have a digital connect. Tell me of the latest unicorn which was not digital. Every new unicorn that you're seeing is either selling online as a Nika, like on the e-commerce platform, or is a education tech, ed tech app like Byju's or an academy, or the latest one is Physics Wala, I think Physics Wala.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. So,
it's becoming,
everybody has a digital connection, right? Nobody has a dukan, nobody has a showroom in the market, which are the 4 showrooms in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, like Shoppers Stop used to have 15 years back. It's not the case right now anymore. So now everybody has a digital connect. So you can only think like the remaining part of India's population, 50 crore out of 140 crore people in India are internet users on a day-to-day basis. So 90 crore people are still not using, and in the next 10 years it will be 100 plus crore people who are not sugar. Yeah, all the Shark Tank examples you can take again. How many of the Shark Tank examples are non-digital? Most of them which got funding were digital. You can go back and see the funding chart on Shark Tank on Wikipedia as well. Most of the ones who got funding are digitally connected. Everybody wants to invest in technology.
Right.
Okay. So there's so much of runway remaining. There's so much of landscape remaining. So yes, there will be companies which will not have just practitioners as digital marketers, but the CEO themselves as digital marketer from some other company who had this idea, created their own company, and are CEOs now, or founders now, or unicorn makers now. So yes, in future, nothing is stopping. But there used to be a time in 2015, 16 where digital marketing was just 10% of marketing spend. Then probably the head of marketing or the CM or chief marketing officer most likely would be somebody who understood print media better or television better. Okay. B News was bigger, but today, of course, times like the websites are online portals are bigger, right? So that's going to be even bigger. So yes, I think entry level at.
So you start as a post MBA, you start as a Google strategist or something, or what? What do you start as?
So post MBA, if you join a brand, you could be a management trainee in the marketing team or a digital marketing team. Post MBA, if you join an agency, you could be like a account manager or a account manager trainee. Post MBA, if you join a publisher like Times of India or Google, you could be again account manager or key relationship manager.
So basically, all those fields, all those designations that were usually for traditional marketing are still there, but it's just that it'll be digital marketing. That's about it. I mean, just that.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, 100%. So for any company to be able to do business, they will continue to spend not just on digital marketing, but continue to spend on television as well. It's not that television spend is gonna go away. It will still remain, but the share of spend on digital is increasing so fast that under, let's say, a CMO, there used to be 5 people, one for TV, one for radio, one for print, one for digital. There's going to be a time where there will be 3 people for digital, is my understanding. Okay. There will be more people because digital has become so big. So search marketing, for example, Google search marketing is a different category. Shopping within Google is a different category. YouTube advertising is a different category. Social media is a different category. Influencer marketing is a different category. Like selling my protein through influencers is a big thing now. So all of these are important, right? You can't just post an ad on a hoarding on the highway or put an ad on IPL and you're done. You have to maintain the quality of the app, the quality of the experience in the app, making people install your app, or for a crypto selling company or a mutual fund company. So apps have become important. Where is the app? It's on digital. So you have to make sure that digital app marketing is a big thing now. So these branches within digital marketing have led to more and more roles being created, and it's only getting fragmented further, right?
Okay. So if digital marketing is the future, what happens to traditional marketing? So in MBA and all, people are still learning things which are in traditional marketing, and you yourself were, if I remember, you had mentioned that you were very much interested in traditional marketing. But then of course somehow something happened and you got into digital marketing, and then you killed it. So
and again, I'll tie it back to the first word that I typed here, which was omni-channel. So it does not take away the omni-channel marketing for traditional companies. Companies which are born digital, for example, I think Zomato is a digital company, which they were always digital. Like they were always supposed to be on the web. There was never a store for Zomato, right? But if I talk about a company like Ola, you might remember a time when you could see Ola. They had a phone number on the back of the car. You had to call the number. There was no app.
Correct.
If you go to the Ola website, you had to get a number. You had to call that number, customer care, give them the address, and then they will come. I'm not sure if people even remember in this group that. But they used to be in the model where they were not a digital company. They were a phone call company like Just Dial and everything. But then they transitioned after Uber came in, right? Oh, that's a very long question.
Yes, Let me read it out. Would you like to answer this? Okay.
I can answer anything.
I currently work as a digital marketer, working on performance marketing specifically, and having package of 4.5 LPA. It's been more than a year now, and I also have 1 year of experience in managing my e-commerce startup. When I was in engineering, I'm preparing for CAT now with IMS, so doing MBA marketing at this moment would be beneficial for me. If yes, which college would be best? Mica, FMS, IIMs, and what package can I get there?
Best would be to get 99 percentile. Okay, focus on that. After that, your life is anyway set.
Correct.
Okay,
Actually, right now, what's your name? You must be a student. Amay. Yeah, Amay, first of all, please focus on CAT right now, your CAT prep. Once you get,
do not jump the steps, and that goes for everybody. See,
exactly,
I have been in your shoes. It's not like that I've not dreamt of getting into the top 15, 20 colleges in India, and irrespective of where I landed. But even while I was preparing, I used to fall for this trap of अभी ये करूंगा उसके बाद ऐसा करूंगा तो वो ख्याली पुलाव. Used to cook that a lot in our days ki bas okay, IMS, what are these called? SimCats, right? So used to give the SimCats, and if I give one good SimCat, I was like, up to I'm pretty sure this is coming 98 percentile. I'm pretty sure sir ने बोला है अगर यहाँ 92 आ रहा है तो CAT में तो 98 आएगा ही. Okay, so this used to be my thinking also.
Yeah. Okay. So right. So Amay and everybody else, please right now concentrate on this.
Don't jump the gun right now. Yeah, just focus.
Okay,
focus on.
But tell me something. But although yes, they will be preparing for CAT right now, but is there anything to do for the profile building that can help them later on, as in a year or two, to get selected, or maybe even to have more talking points, even during the PIs with BC. Yeah. So yeah, what can they do now? Yeah.
No, makes sense. I think for freshers, I think it's really important if you're taking a drop year, try to make maximum use of the drop year, try to join an internship. For freshers, I can say for the first year, even unpaid could be fine. I don't recommend it, but try to get an internship with any company or any agency, any startup. Get hands-on experience. Do not just prepare for CAT. Not the best idea. Do not take a drop year to just prepare for CAT. I have done that. I used to work for a few months while I was dropping after my engineering in 2011. I did a couple of stints, and those became a great talking point. So it's not that they will always ask you that what did you do in the last 1 year, and it's not wrong to take a break. We had a very difficult year, COVID. Everybody had a difficult time. Everybody understands that. It's not like that people are there to judge you in the GDPR that why did you not do something. But if you took that one step extra and tried to get an internship and did a couple of months with any company, small, big, free, paid, as a fresher, you show intent. You show, this deliberation, determination of, going one step extra, pushing the boundaries. Try to push the boundaries. For freshers, this is really important. For people who are already working, I understand you can't, of course, like change your job right away and move into marketing if you want to do MBA in marketing. Continue what you're doing, but try to upskill yourself. Try to use as many free resources. And see, YouTube is itself a gem. I feel if you're able to talk the language better, if you're able to use those jargons or technical terms in a better way, I call that business acumen. If you're able to expand your business acumen better, then your answers will become better automatically. Like when I ask you a marketing question, what do you think about the marketing strategy of Ola recently, or what are these called? The Ola scooters, the Ola Electric.
Yes, Ola
Let's say I talk about marketing strategy. Ola Electric is a new age company, and they were trying to do something extremely unique. What do you think about that? See, you can't talk about 100 companies in the same interview, but if you have seen these videos which are all over YouTube, okay, which is your favorite brand, which is your favorite company, which is your most recent favorite ad, why did you not like an ad, which was the ad in IPL which appealed the most to you? These are the kind of things might not be asked in the interview, but having that mindset gives you the confidence of being able to bring in these examples when you're talking to somebody, like I'm doing right now. When I bring in these examples and you are able to relate to these examples, it instills confidence in what I'm saying. So that's what you have to do in a GDPI process, right? Your examples should be so appealing. The way you frame your answer should be appealing, and that will come with experience. That will come with gaining as much as these freely available resources, knowledge on YouTube. Okay, so scroll less, watch more, read even more if possible.
There's a Sonal, yes, you are doing the right thing. If you like data science, why not? Do something if you're interested. It will only give you another talking point. So yeah, okay. Tell me, how do you upskill yourself every day? How do you upgrade yourself every day and keep yourself above, as in on top of everything, whatever is happening in digital marketing? How do you do that?
See, the first thing that I do, and I'm a big fan of YouTube. In fact, I have made an investment, and let me make it clear: Google does not pay for YouTube Premium for any of our employees. I have made that investment. I made that investment in India. In fact, here in the UK, it is £12 a month, which is 1,200 rupees. In India, it's just I think 200 rupees. 129 rupees, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
I personally would recommend, not because I work for Google, but it's a worthy investment because it saves me time and it helps me, explore better, curate my content better. I love watching marketing related videos and knowledge related videos, not just marketing. I am now following finance. Like, I'm in a life stage. I'm in my early 30s. So I'm in a life stage where finance appeals to me more. So I upskill myself on finance. But for somebody who's moving into marketing, I highly recommend watching as many videos as possible on why Ola Electric is doing what they're doing, why Tata New is being launched,
case studies and all. Okay.
Yeah, why Uber shares did not fly, why a Paytm IPO dropped. So these are great case studies in Hindi and English and every other language you can think, which is available on YouTube. Watch these kind of videos, take case studies from outside India, and I think videos are the best way. It is not boring. It is really and so many good channels are there which will talk about not just Indian case studies but McDonald's and Walmart's and how these became big, how Google became big, how Apple became big. Watch these, create a perspective. That's what I do. Like right now, I'm doing it for finance. I'm not probably a major investor. I'm not investing lakhs and crore rupees on stocks, but I'm creating a perspective for myself. I think if you ask me in one line, that's the most important thing.
Okay. But tell me, in your career in digital marketing, did you ever face a challenge where, you had to kind of, like, how a particular thing is not working, like a Paytm or some one particular project is not working? So have you been part of a case study as in that way, as in your challenge that was part of a case study sort of a thing that, okay, let me go back, let me figure out how to.
Yeah, I guess I guess I can give an example. Right now, I'm working with a client which is a very interesting client.
Okay.
So it's a UK-based company which is the largest adult toy category.
Okay.
In all of Europe.
Okay.
And because they are in such a unique business, and I'm assuming all of us are adults here.
Yeah.
So again, they have to do their own marketing, like a Durex or any such company, right? So Durex uses their own techniques, so they would hire a Ranveer Singh to advertise, right? So they are having a challenging time. So we are trying to figure out how to advertise for them on Google, where a kid could be watching a YouTube video on their parents' laptop.
Right. Yeah.
So that is the challenge.
Okay.
So we have to keep on reinventing.
Has
it's a very unique situation.
Challenges. Yeah, these challenges will be there with internet. Because so
correct.
How do you really you do have, like on Netflix and all, you have those parental filters. Guidance and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, filters. But
Google also has that. Google also has that.
Yeah, but how do you can't really absolutely, like, there was a time when you could filter it out completely, but I think that's one of the biggest challenge right now, isn't it?
It is definitely
digital marketing.
It's not really about just the category of business, but it's about ensuring that you're not spending your valuable marketing budget on showing your ads to the wrong audience.
Correct.
That's the most important point, right? What's the point of me showing an ad for Durex to somebody who's not a relevant audience, right? So I'm spending my ad for nothing. People might still become aware of my brand, which is good in a way. Probably they're going to be an audience in future. So Red Bull does that. So Red Bull is a costly product, like 100 rupees for a can. Not everybody's supposed to buy Red Bull, and Red Bull doesn't even sell everywhere. Like Red Bull is a company which sells in pubs, and they have these small fridges in bars and pubs and restaurants, and you can order a Red Bull, which is MRP is 100 rupees on a pan wala shop, but it is 200 rupees on a restaurant. They're much fine with that. So they have maintained that aura of Red Bull, and I don't even know like why, but so that's how you build your brand. So these are the kind of challenges for companies like, let's say, Red Bull or companies who are a lot more into content marketing.
Correct.
And I think Red is again a very good example because their business model might not be clear, but they're still big into marketing. They're using Tanmay Bhatt and Rahul Dravid and all these cricketers, Neeraj Chopra. So they're doing a good job with the creatives. So these are the kind of challenges, Kalyani, that I would face in my day-to-day, where we are trying to reinvent.
Correct.
The way marketing has been envisioned, even digital marketing has been envisioned. So we have to keep on transform strategies to new age companies.
But okay, before we wrap up, the two more questions about, one is, of course, one would be your suggestions, but secondly, is digital marketing is working in India or in international market? Does it change how you look at everything? Or, I mean, is it absolutely like that transition is drastic, or is it just how it would be handling data here, handling data there, or looking at market here, looking at market? I mean, does it change?
I think it's mostly same. No, it doesn't change much. And the only reason why India has so many companies based in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Bombay, Delhi, of course, we all know the reason for that. Like, service in India is cheaper. So most companies, all companies have a larger base in India. Like, they have this operations center in India. Walmart has it, Target has it, Google has it, Facebook has it, Amazon has a huge presence in India, Deloitte has a huge presence in India. So all of these companies which are based in US or Europe have a operations center in India. So basically, we do the same job, even better perhaps. Like, Indians are really good at technical stuff and coding and strategy and data and marketing. So we do a great job of consulting the sales team which sit closer to the client. So we are the consultants for them. So you're not just strategist or marketeer or agency or whatever. I would call all of us consultants. So we consult them to create the pitch deck, to create that presentation that the account manager or the sales team will take to the client eventually. So that's our job. So it doesn't change if you're doing it from India or from US. But of course, for a company and as an entry point, it's of course much easier to start off in India, and then you might get the opportunity in a few years to move closer to the sales team.
Correct. Yeah, there's a question which has been repeated again and again: finance versus marketing, how to choose. Well, honestly, first take your CAT, get into a B school. You'll get one entire year to decide on where do you really fit. You can choose your electives from the second year. On all the IIMs there, you can select it from the second year. So don't worry about that. Take CAT first and get.
If there is finance and marketing as a subject in CAT, I would be so worried right now.
Yeah.
Has it changed so much in the last 7-8 years?
No, it hasn't.
So don't jump the gun, guys.
Exactly.
Don't jump
because that question was coming again and again.
I understand. Focus on quant and verbal, quant and DI. Focus on these three things. Focus on skill enhancement. Focus on perspective building. Focus agar ongoing basis pe, apart from the 3-4 sections of CAT that you have to work on, focus on developing yourself, your persona. Focus on having a perspective when you sit in a debate or a discussion with friends, family, random people on internet, when you're fighting with people on BJP versus on whatever. So just edit this, please.
Yes.
So, when you're having a debate with anybody, have a perspective. That is more important, and understand, upskill your CAT stuff. Then you will have time for 1 year, like Kalyani said, to again build perspective with people in your batch, with your seniors, with your faculty, who will guide you the best. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I guess that kind of, brings us to the end of the session. Anyone who would like to ask any question, like, once, probably, you've got selected in mica, and then, you want to ask certain questions about mica, then yes, you can always find him on LinkedIn and you can ask him questions, or you can send it to me. I'll forward those to him and he'll be happy to answer those. So that's all we have time for this time. Thanks, Akashdeep Saxena. Thank you so much for your time.